the administration, school board members, my fellow students, friends, friends of friends, friends of family, friends of administration, family of friends, and anyone else who decided to show up. Before I start, I would just like to thank you for all being in attendance on this truly special night. It is really an honor to be awarded with the name of Salutatorian, writing another homework assignment, and performing it in front of a crowd of 200 people. But hey, it's not like I haven't done this before, procrastinating enough and watching enough Netflix, where I turn in my essay at 2 in the morning. I'm still shocked that I'm here. When I sat down to write this speech, thousands upon thousands of thoughts were rushing through my mind about this, that, and the other. What memories am I going to mention? What message can I leave for my fellow students? And God, please, can it actually be entertaining for the audience instead of being the same old cliche message of your journey ends here, but you're starting a new beginning, or here are the 7 steps to success. Although I believe in that message, it isn't what I want to leave with you all today. Bedminster is such a loving and caring community, and although we can all get tired of it sometimes, it's like a sibling. You learn to love it after a while. Going into a new community and school district is going to be hard, like going from a safe and secure home into a new one and making it your own. Soon enough, it'll get easier after making new friends and learning new things. As you all know, for the graduating class of 2018, this is it for us. Some are moving, some are going to other schools, and others are simply just going to Bernard High School. Whatever it is, this is the time we part our ways after up to 11 years for some of us. I personally have been in this school for 9 years since kindergarten, and boy, has it been a heck of a ride. From learning grammar and simple mathematics in elementary school, to learning how to interpret poems and learning quadratic equations in middle school. Our devoted teachers brought us to where we are today. They pushed us to the limit with harder and harder material, while still shockingly believing in us after all the disappointing substitute reports. Also, a special thank you to Ms. Lafarge, who has believed in me and built my confidence to the point where I now believe in myself and can do bigger things in high school. Not only did our teachers do this, but so did our parents, and I would like to give a very special thank you to them as well. For putting up with us, giving us advice, and helping us with that 4th grade math problem that apparently had to be done with algebra because there was no other way to do it. Speaking of parents, just a quick thing my dad let me know before I wrote my speech. He said, do not make fun of the Dallas Cowboys. And don't make fun of their fans either. Like I said before, we have been here for a while, and the memories we have made will stick with us until high school. Soon enough, we're going to look back on these years of laughter, tears, and the occasional bloodshed, and smile, maybe even laugh. It might take a while, but someday, it could take 50 years, we will. Through my 14 years of being on this earth, I've gotten a lot of advice from a lot of different people. Some have stuck with me, and some have gone in one ear and out the other. But there's one piece of advice that I always think of, and my mom gave me this advice. I think I was around 7 or 8 years old, and I was on a carnival climbing attraction. And it was hard to climb with my Hello Kitty flip-flops, so I took them off, threw them off the side, and hit an old man in the back. I was kicked off the attraction and was bawling my eyes out from the fact that I was in trouble, and it was my 6th time on the ride, so I kind of wanted to go again. Although my mom was furious, she sat down next to me, kept her cool, and said, hey, what's the worst that can happen? After thinking about it for a while, I realized she was right. I'm not going to die or get physically hurt in any way. Heck, in a couple of years, they won't recognize me. I can go on it again. Since then, through every test grade, every sport, every theatrical event, that is all I think of. In 7th grade, one little bad quiz grade is not going to ruin the rest of your year and have a colossal impact on your life. If I mess up on stage during a performance, if they end up even noticing it, the audience isn't going to boo me off the stage or throw tomatoes at me. Maybe I'll get a couple laughs for it afterwards, maybe even a bit of taunting from close friends, but nothing catastrophic is going to happen to me after that. Another thing I would like to say is to never let others bring you down. Although this sounds cliche, and I promised I wouldn't do this, it is a good word of advice. It's to believe in yourself. You hear so many stories these days of kids who have lower self-esteem, not thinking they were good enough, and not believing in him or herself, which can lead to countless other problems later. Having confidence and thinking that you can do what you're set your mind to can help with so many things. With that, there's always not to get your hopes up too high or having so much confidence that you're cocky. So believe in yourself, have confidence, but don't overdo it. In other words, be humble. The last thing I leave with you all today is not to sweat the small stuff. Tying into my last bit of advice, one little mistake is not going to cost you the world. After all, no one makes it out alive anyways, so just keep going and leave your mark on the world. That's better than sitting in the corner and watching others succeed. So students, keep going, because what's the worst that can home. Don't sweat the small stuff and leave your mark upon the world. I leave you with one more phrase to remember me by. As said in the musical Hamilton, talk less, smile more. Thank you.